I want you to pretend you're the president for a day.
Okay.
So the first, right? There we go. Get ready.
Welcome to the
People are fucking Boston. Shut up, people of Boston. Park the car in Harvard Yard. I'll tell you what, the people who do this podcast, whoever's listening, good shit. They're good shit. We're here with the people of Boston. They're beauties. We're chilling.
So congratulations, everybody. You are president for a day. That's the episode that we are talking about, and we have 3 questions.
I am going to be busy all day, and I know that because I just met with my Oval Office secretary, who's filled me in about the long day ahead. I then have the Director of National Intelligence drop off my daily brief, which on this particular day is packed full of top secrets. No surprise there.
All right, so cue the Hail the Chief for the president, because we're presidents today. And let's get into it. As we said, this episode is themed around your president for a day. And we have questions centered around that topic. So, as president, the first thing you have to do is pick a vice president, among 1,000 other things, right?
Right.
But that's usually the first thing that's in the news. Who's the VP pick, right? So, that's what we ask people. If you're president for a day, who would your vice presidential pick be? Do you want to go first, Joe?
Sure.
Hold on, sorry. We told people, just so people know that are listening, that this could be a funny answer or it could be a serious political answer, like an actual strategy for your own political alignment type thing, right? So you can pick whoever you want to pick based on whatever reason, but they have to be alive. Okay. Sorry.
So my pick would be Conor McGregor. Okay.
That's great.
The Irish are back! We've taken back control of New York City! I run New York City!
And here's the thing. I would pick Conor McGregor because I think he is equally, if not a little bit more nuts than I am.
Okay.
Right?
I butchered your face! I KO'd you! You were curled up like a bitch! I butchered your body. You couldn't even lift your hands up. You can do that all you want, but at the end of the day, the knockout speaks for itself.
Really? You think you're equally as nuts as Conor McGregor, a UFC fighter?
This is where the funny part comes in. He's out of his mind, but at the same point in time, forget the Secret Service, right? Because I always got Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor standing to the left of me.
Yep.
I also get all the proper 12 that I can drink.
Proper 12, yeah. Is that his whiskey or something?
Yeah.
Whiskey, yeah. Nice.
So,
that's good.
2 great reasons to start me off there. And I just feel like he would be a great vice president, you know?
Yeah. What's the first thing you would do in the White House with Conor McGregor? On your first day and only day in office.
Did you ever watch House of Cards?
No. I watched the first episode when the dog died and he killed it, but that's it.
Okay. So there is a scene in House of Cards on Netflix where the First Lady and the Secretary of State are playing beer pong in the White House.
Oh, okay.
So that, I feel like I'm going to steal that idea. That would be the first thing I'd do with McGregor.
Beer pong in the White House.
Yes, and then I'd find somebody to spar with him so I can watch him kick somebody's ass in real life right in the Oval Office. I feel like that would be great. All right, what about you? Who's your VP pick, Matt?
My VP pick would be Tulsi Gabbard.
Right.
I enlisted in the Army National Guard after the Al-Qaeda terror attacks on 9/11, so I could go after those who had attacked us on that day. I still serve as a major, served over 16 years, deployed twice to the Middle East, and in Congress serve on the Foreign Affairs and Armed Services Committees for over 6 years. I know the importance of our national security, as well as the terribly high cost of war.
So she's a rep out of Hawaii. She ran for president last election cycle against Trump, and she was actually the third person standing. It was down to Bernie, Biden, and Tulsi Gabbard. She was the third person to remove herself from the thing. And you know what was funny? She wasn't invited to the presidential nominee debate, even though she was still in the race. And they just didn't invite her because everyone was pulling for like a Bernie Biden show off. Yeah, so I picked Tulsi just because I think it would show good kind of like a good equilibrium of ideas within my administration. It would show that like I'm willing to work with all different types of people. type thing. And I like a lot of her policy choices. She's a veteran, which I think is like, she's a strong woman. So I just like that about her. And I think she'd be a good fit. And we'd probably get, in that one day in office, just get right to it. Get a lot done.
How responsible of you.
Yeah.
Great answer, Matt.
All right, and then after this, we have what law we would make on our day in office. But let's go hear what the people had to say for their VP pick.
So,
All right. As president, you get to pick a vice president. Who is your VP pick? Now, this could be for political purposes or someone you just want to meet and chill with for a day, right? So take it how you will, but who's your VP pick?
It could be anyone?
Anyone you want. You get to pick.
Damn.
They gotta be alive. They gotta be alive.
That's fair. Man, I could choose anyone to be my vice president.
Yeah. And again, it could be for a political reason if you like someone politically, or it could just be like, look, I love this person, this actor, this musician, I want to chill with them, kind of thing.
I'm trying to think of an athlete that I would have as like a VP. That's what
Tatum
I'm
or something?
right now.
Are you a Celtics fan?
I am, but I don't really think I'm like, yo, Tatum, stick to the ball court.
Yeah. Focus right now.
But no bullshit, I'll do Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. All right, that's a cool pick.
No bullshit, I'll do Tom Brady.
What would you do? You're in the White House with Tom Brady. What are you doing? You're outside in the front yard throwing a football around, or like?
Yeah, we went out to like a football place. Like, hey, yo, you know what's crazy? During one of the Super Bowls when they were playing the Seahawks, I'm like, yo, for example, during the Seahawks, I was mad you beat us because I had a lot of money on that, and I lost it. Like, yeah, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, just chill with him for a little bit. Who is your VP choice?
Oh, wow. My mom.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Your mom's gonna be VP?
My mom's one of the smartest people I've ever met, and she has taught me a lot. And honestly, I love hanging out with her.
Why is your mom like the smartest person you ever met? What's she do?
She's an entrepreneur. She's started her own business. She loves to travel. She loves to do a lot of the things I do.
Yeah.
She's taught me everything I know. So.
Nice. What kind of business does she own?
She owns a medical billing service in San Diego. That's where I'm from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's.
She was the first woman to start it in the country. So.
No way.
Yeah, and definitely in San Diego County. So.
That'd be good optics too, I bet.
Yeah.
For the office.
Yeah. Exactly. Well-rounded, right?
You got a woman and entrepreneur.
Yeah.
First to do something. There we go.
Yeah.
Great. All right, that's a good choice.
My vice presidential pick is my best friend. I trust her with everything. Best friend / roommate.
Okay.
Her name is Maya.
And why would you pick her? Just because you trust her, or just what do you think she's going to bring to the table?
Like creativity and yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we are good at, like, when I'm talking with her, I have like my best ideas, and like she pushes me.
So you guys smoke weed together?
We do smoke weed together. That is
What a
not
lucky
the
guess.
extent. That is not the extent.
I'm just kidding. Usually people that smoke weed together get creative and start talking about stuff.
That is actually accurate, though. That is usually when we really get into it, but otherwise, friends since like early high school. So
would you guys light up a joint in the Oval Office?
Yes. Of course. It would be maybe a bong, but
a bong. All right.
Joint would work as well. Yeah.
Nice. Very Definitely good. Very good. Good choice, your friend.
Thank you.
VP pick. Who are you picking to be VP with?
Definitely first person that came to mind, LeBron James. Yeah, I love outside of basketball, he does so much for his the community just in general, for the youth
and everyone.
You know what I'm saying, for everybody. So I would definitely love to have him in the seat with me and just spread ideas and just continue to try to push. I don't know the word, but just make the world a better place, I guess you could say. Yeah.
What's the first thing you're doing with LeBron in the White House? Like, are you going right to the basketball court?
Yeah, gotta hoop. Gotta get that one-on-one in, you know what I mean?
You could get a point on him at least?
I gotta get a layup. I have to at least. Ain't no way I'm scoring 0 points. You
think you're gonna take him in the paint? I'm thinking you gotta at least pull up.
I might have to hit a little post fade like Kobe or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I don't know.
All right, cool.
Yes, sir.
Who is your VP pick?
I'll pick her. She wasn't gonna pick me. I was obligated.
Well, I was thinking political, who could help me get things done. But if it's only for a day, it should be with someone that I want to spend time with.
JJ Watt.
I was thinking JJ Watt.
Or spend time apart. You guys are going to be moved in together soon, and maybe you guys need a day.
I was thinking JJ Watt.
JJ Watt. He's the man. You got a crush on him, or is that like your celebrity crush?
Still does, yeah. So if you're watching,
That's great. So JJ Watt, and you're picking.
I'll pick her. That seems easy enough.
Well, now I feel like an asshole.
It's all right. It's all right. He'll get over. He seems like a nice guy. All right. So that guy's girlfriend said JJ Watt for vice president, and she has a crush on him. And she also said for JJ Watt to call her, and her boyfriend was standing right there, which I thought, maybe they have an open relationship, or maybe
he likes getting pegged.
Yeah, maybe that.
Something like that.
But the guy had a good sense of humor about JJ. I mean, I posted that video on somewhere, and I think somebody commented like, none of us stand a chance against JJ Watt. And that's true. I mean, he's a monster. He's like 6'6", ripped, jacked, like everything. So no one really stands a chance against JJ. And I think he would be a great vice president, honestly.
Yeah.
So well-spoken, seems like a smart guy.
Only mildly embarrassing for this poor guy that we talked to.
Yeah, definitely. But it's all right. That was a good answer. And let's get into our next question centered around being president for a day, which is, what law would you make?
All right. So,
do you want to go
no,
first?
Sorry. What's wrong with me? My bad.
Yeah. So I'll start us off.
Thank you. You'll have to cut that out.
I might just leave it in and do it like a Ken Burns right to your face.
Don't do that.
So,
okay.
The law that I would make as president for a day, again, I told people they can make it serious, funny, whatever they want. Mine's a little more serious just because I think this should be a real thing that happens.
Okay.
But it would never happen.
Okay.
But I would try to push as hard as I could on that one day in office to set term limits for Congress.
Okay.
And I'm not saying just 2 terms like the president. Like, I know that I think it's 6 and 2, right? 6 for the Senate, 6 years, and then 2 years for the House.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say only 2 terms, meaning 4 years for the House member. But something to max it out. Like, you have people in there that makes a career out of being a public servant.
Yep.
And I think you would agree with me that while some people, I'm sure, do good, there's just too much stuff going in there that's like corrupt type behavior and out for my own good, when really the true job of every single member of Congress and the president and everyone else is to serve the public, serve the people of the country, which not to serve your own best interests,
Okay.
What law are you making, Joe? This is a big deal.
We all know that they're, like, in recent times here, we've had a lot of school shootings.
Yes.
And mass shootings, but, school shootings in particular.
Yes.
So the law that I would make would put so I don't know how to phrase this. I would feel like I need to make a new class of a job. So I guess more than a security guard, but less than an actual police officer.
Okay. Why less than a police officer?
It takes it because they don't, the person who's going to be doing this is going to be doing this all the time. They don't need to know all the laws that a police officer knows. They need to know how to prevent somebody from coming into the building with a gun.
Okay, so not less than a police officer, but just doesn't need to be as up to date on all of the specifications that a cop would, like what are they called? Traffic stops,
and all that domestic violence calls.
Just purely how to stop an armed shooter entering a building, basically.
Exactly. And so they would be armed. So more, like I said, more than a security guard, less than a cop, and they have the authority, to arrest people. So does that make them a cop? I mean,
kind of, yeah.
Maybe. But I just feel like you would save some money, right? The U.S. It would be more plausible to not go through whatever it is, 36 weeks of, basic training or whatever in the police academy.
Yeah.
And have one station outside of every elementary, middle, and high school throughout the United States.
Yeah.
No matter the cost, I feel like that would be the one law that I would implement if I was president for a day.
That's a good law. I think that's at least like a step in the right direction, you know. There's like, the thing is about this topic in general is that there's no like right answer, and everyone, when this, a tragedy does happen like this, thinks they have the answer.
Yep.
And it's only one thing or maybe 2 things, right? But it's like so many different moving pieces. But that, at least, I mean, deterrence is usually the best way to prevent war, threat, violence, anything like that.
Yep.
So I think that's a good law.
It doesn't solve all the problems, right?
Yeah.
Because that guy in Buffalo walked into a grocery store, right, and killed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So it doesn't solve every problem.
You can't stop crazy people is the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, you might be able to help thwart some kind of school shooting if you have somebody who's armed.
Yes.
Outside of school. I don't think any child should have to go into school thinking, am I going to be killed today.
Yeah.
That just shouldn't be a thought that has to cross their mind. And unfortunately, in this day and age, you know, I would imagine that it happens to a lot of kids.
Yeah, no, it's real. It's bad. So that's a good law to try to stop that.
Yep.
And let's go right now to the streets of Boston and hear what some people had a similar law to yours.
Oh, really?
Like similar concept, different approach.
Okay.
But we'll get to that right now.
All right.
What's the one law you're making on your 1 day in office?
My 1 day in office, I think it's the biggest problem right now. I think gun violation. I think I'm going to make guns a bit harder to get.
Gun control.
Yeah.
Okay, so what?
A bit harder to get.
Do you have something specific that you would make like?
So you know, for example, when you have to go get your license, to make you go through all this tests,
Like driver's license?
Yeah, like you gotta like I have like the right mental to drive and all that. I think I'm gonna do the same thing for guns, because for guns, you just gotta take a 4-hour class.
Okay.
I get a few signatures.
Yep.
That's it.
So you would make it a little more extensive process.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Take a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. That's a good one. What's the law that you're making?
For Boston? Or just
for
the whole, okay.
for the US.
Country, okay. 4-day work weeks.
4-day work week.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Now, how long would those 4 days be? Like
Monday through Thursday. So.
But I mean, like hours-wise. Like, would they have to put in extra hours, or would it be a typical 8-hour?
I would say that if you get your work done, then you do what you can. I think that putting a responsibility on people to get their work done and their responsibilities is more important than giving them a 9 to 5.
Okay.
If they don't perform, then that's on them, and if they do, then everyone wins.
Cool. All right. I like that.
Thanks.
I'm into that.
Okay, so for the first one, there's been like too much gun violence going on within the past couple months and stuff like that. So I would definitely probably just put an end to owning guns. You know, gun violence, not gun violence, but you know, gun shops selling guns to people under the age of 21, and like just in general, selling them in general, because it's not necessarily a need, because it's like guns that you can't really do good with the gun, you know what I mean? So it's like probably put an end to that. Secondly, definitely have people that are higher up in this world spread their wealth around to people on the streets, you know, homeless people, just to kind of just make the world a better place in itself, instead of just keeping it to themselves. Like, I get it, you earned it,
sure.
But it's like if you're at that level in the world, you know, you gotta spread the wealth around. That's what we're supposed to do. I'm religious, so that's what God said we're supposed to do. So I believe in that.
Okay.
And
would you do that through taxes? Like, how would you implement that? And how much money do you have to make under your law to say, like, now you have to give X amount back? Like,
I would probably say if you're making a little over 500,000. I feel like that's a reasonable number. Like, yeah, I'll say that's a reasonable number.
If you're making over 500,000, what do they have to pay into like this?
Definitely got to put at least 50,000. Yeah, at least 50,000. I would say.
So over 500,000, you're given 50 in your law.
Yep.
You're also what it sounds like is abolishing Second Amendment.
Yeah.
No
basically.
more guns purchasing. No more
sir.
gun owning.
No,
right?
sir. Yeah.
And then what did you have a third one?
Can't think right now.
Okay,
yeah, can't think right now.
Those are two good ones.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna overthink this. The one law that I can pass.
Yep.
I guess it would be.
What do you think's missing?
I'm like gonna waste your time.
No. Take your time. Don't worry about the.
What is missing? I want it to be something about capitalism, like no more money.
No more money.
But then you have to have something like, it can't just be one law, I guess. So I'm thinking, okay, like universal income, like everybody
Universal
gets
basic income.
right? Like every month, everybody gets like $1,000 or something.
Okay, that was Andrew Yang's platform when he was running in the
Okay.
last election cycle, was the universal basic income.
Okay, I'm
now, do
into
you think
it.
it should be capped off somewhere? Who gets this $1,000 a month?
Everybody? Oh, like you're thinking like
does Jeff Bezos get $1,000?
like I guess you can sign up if you want it, or like if you need it.
Okay.
Sure, like you don't just get it, but you decide if you need it.
Okay.
That's what I'm going with, yeah.
Do you have one? I don't have one yet, I think.
This is a very deep question for so early in the day. Well, relatively early in the day.
That's a hard one.
You guys can work together on it if you want.
I mean, mine is revolving around social issues or affordable housing.
Okay. So what social issue would you like? What law would you make around social issues?
less interference in women's bodies.
Okay, so like abortion
Yeah.
and whatnot, would that,
Yeah.
what would the law be? Just it's legal, like straight, like that kind of law?
Yeah.
Okay, so legalize abortion completely across all states. Okay. Do you have one similar? Would you take up the same one?
I mean, I like that idea. I was gonna do something more like broad-based, but
I couldn't think of something with
that's
so much pressure.
hard, yeah.
Obviously, there's fiscal, there's war, there's environmental, just to try to, in case that might, I know it's tough on you on the spot. But
National health care, better national
oh yeah, like
system.
universal health care.
Universal
on there.
healthcare,
Yeah, at least
yeah.
a base level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have our last question, which is, Joe, do you know what a pardon is?
I do know what a pardon is.
You do?
I do.
Okay. Why don't you give us, for people that don't know, what is a pardon?
And the context that we're going to be using it in is when someone commits a crime, goes to jail, and the president excuses them from their sentence.
Yeah, which is almost a weird power to have, but the president has the ability, like you said, to release people from prison that have been found guilty of some crime. And so what we told the people is that you have one pardon. So you have 1 day in office, you have one pardon to use. Who are you using that pardon on? What do you think? Who are you using your pardon on? Releasing somebody from jail.
I don't know that I could pick one. I don't think I could pick one person to release from jail. But I do think I could excuse people who are currently incarcerated for nonviolent possession charges of marijuana.
Okay.
So
that's not what I thought you would say, but that's a good one.
Well, I changed my mind. So I feel like I would pardon those people just because in the next 20 years, my best guess is that it's going to be legalized across the country.
Weed, you're saying?
Yeah. Weed it's legal in a lot of states now. So the fact that somebody else lives in the same country as me and I can go down to the store and buy a bag of weed.
Yeah.
And they're in jail in whatever state.
Yeah.
Because they had that as well. Just doesn't sit right with me. And I feel like those people I would excuse. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? Who'd you pardon? Do you have somebody in mind?
Yes. So my pardon that I would use would be for Edward Snowden. So for people that don't know who Edward Snowden is, he worked for government intelligence, I think at least NSA and maybe like CIA or something like that. And he found out that the federal government, through an institution called the FISA court, FISA, was getting FISA warrants on people that not only were suspected of crimes, and high up crimes, right? So not only people that were suspected of crimes, but anyone in their proximity, anyone who called them, anyone who they had a relationship with, brother, sister, uncle, mom, father, aunt. All these people were now, through the U.S. government, able to be spied on through their personal camera devices, whether it be laptop, phones. I don't think phones at the time had cameras that were accessible, but whatever, through cameras.
Yep.
So that's what he uncovered and made public. And then because of that was government secrets that he released, that was a treason. And so he, knowing this, fled to Russia, and he's still hiding out there since the government can't come and extradite him from Russia. So, this is a tough coin where it's, he committed treason, but he did so with the best intention of the American people type thing.
Yeah.
Exposing what are probably considered by most wrongdoings and a violation of privacy from the federal government to the people. So it is a fine line, but I personally I see it as more of an honorable thing and doing something that is more right than I guess wrong by government standards. That's all I have.
Fantastic. Well, let's kick it to the people in the streets of Boston, see who they would pardon.
Let's do it. Who are you giving that pardon to?
Nobody.
Nobody? You don't think there's anyone that maybe deserves to be pardoned? It's kind of a tough question because you got to know of somebody that's maybe...
It depends. You feel me? It depends on what you did. But to me, it's kind of like, why would I want to pardon you when everyone else is going to want me to do the exact same thing to them? So it's like, nah, like,
so you
what makes you so, like, different from everyone else?
You always see it as unfair that everyone else can't.
Yeah, like, imagine if I pardon you for, like, what you did wasn't bad, and the next person that they think their shit wasn't bad, like, hey, yo, can I get a pardon?
Yeah.
Like, nah, it's not this person.
Yeah, so you're just going to pass the pardon?
Nah.
All right.
I'm just going to have to pass that one.
All right, cool.
Because that's like, he just got pardoned. All right, my turn.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you, you know?
Exactly, so now.
I'm sure there's some people in jail that need the pardon. I just don't know of them, unfortunately.
Okay.
Like, no one that comes to my mind. I don't know about you.
I would agree, and I'd probably do some serious research to find somebody.
Okay, so what would, if you can't think of anyone, what would be, like, what you're looking into for the research? Like, what would be the type of crime? Like, is it related to something specific that you would look into and try to find somebody that seems...
There's been a couple of ones recently that have come up where they realized that the evidence was wrong. You know, with DNA testing, they were able to find out it just...
too long.
Yeah,
to get them out
people
of
have
the
been
system.
in 30 years in prison and they shouldn't have been, to try someone like that.
So like an older maybe case where DNA wasn't a factor and now we have more evidence, let's relook at it.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. That's a good pick.
Like one person to pardon. You're seeing my indecisiveness. Like when
yeah, no, it's alright. I'm putting you on the spot, so
I'm always
it's alright.
Gotta think of the perfect answer. I guess I don't have anybody that pops into mind. I'm like, if I could do like a whole group of, like if I could do like all people with drug charges, I guess it would be that, but like...
Okay, so you don't maybe have someone specific, but you would look into people with maybe marijuana charges that...
Yeah, or like any more than, like any drugs, I feel like.
Any drugs
it wouldn't be criminalized, yeah.
So do you think drugs should not be criminalized?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it should be like... It's the way it's like you're being punished for this like problem. Like it's not like you should be in trouble for being like addicted to something that's like harming you.
Sure. Okay.
Like it just doesn't seem like a solution to the problem to just
that could be a good law too. Maybe if you got 2 days in office, you can make that
the second law.
The second law.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
I gotta think.
I know this one's tough to think.
Yeah.
But if you don't have anything anyone specific, maybe tell us about the crime you would look into or whatever it may be.
Okay. Crimes I would look into. Dang. I'm trying to think. I actually don't know. That's a really good question. I can't lie. Crime I would probably look into is I wouldn't necessarily say a pardon, but since you're talking about crime, probably like police brutality, just kind of impact on that, because some people are just let free or don't get as much time as they deserve. So I'll probably try to, just work on that, on fixing that, I guess you could say.
Somebody that you feel like was a victim of some type of incorrect
incorrect
work and
basically.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, the NBA draft is on. Joe's got to get out of here, and that's all we have. So I thought it was a fun topic of president for a day. We'll do this again because I think we'll just keep hearing from different people about their own thoughts on being president for a day. And I don't know. That's all I have.
Fantastic.
You good to go?
Good to go.
All right. Have a good week.
I've been in instances where in classroom participation, I raise my hand and say, 2 + 1's 3. And everybody class will 3, ha, ha.